I can. Once it's. Yeah. Vamos lá. Boa tarde. Por favor, vamos iniciar, então, a terceira sessão do primeiro dia do nosso encontro. Meu nome é Cristiano Barreto, eu estou aqui para apresentar a professora Robin Wang, professora de Filosofia, diretora de Estudos da Ásia-Pacífico na Loyola Marymount University, em Los Angeles. Também uma fellow no Berggruen Center for Advanced Studies in the Behavioral Sciences, na Universidade de Stanford. A doutora Wang publicou diversos livros sobre a filosofia chinesa, entre eles Yin Yang, The Way of Heaven and Earth in Chinese Thought and Culture, e é editora do Chinese Philosophy in the Year of Globalization. E, além disso, publicou muitos outros artigos e é consultora em diversas áreas. Dr. Wang, please.
All right. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to come here this second time in this intellectual community and to learn. So today I'm basically going to talk about the main idea. It's a Tao and the nature. Basically, we're looking at how Taoism to thinking about the nature. Which one is good? Okay. And then I like to talk from 3 points. So first point is looking at how Taoism think about nature is grounded in ontology. And this ontology has a very interesting claim, how there is a unity between heaven, earth, and the human beings. So this is ontological constructions. Then second question. Speak closer to the microphone. Okay, all right. I'm multitasking. Okay, good. All right. Second one, I'm talking about a new movement right now, called planetary humanity. So I would like to see we have this shift from logos to holos, right? So this is the second question. Third question, I'd like to talk about the human body. How Taoists looking at the body as landscape. So earlier, the 2 papers actually touched lots of the topics I'm talking about, especially idea of body. So let's look at a part 1. So can you read this? Okay, I like to start a Dao De Jing's statement. This is the chapter 29. Dao De Jing says, all under heaven. So this is a very interesting concept called Tianxia. So it's a sacred vessel, not something that can be act on. Those who acting on it will ruin it. Those who trying to grasp it, it will lose it. So clearly this thing, there's 2 concepts that can roughly to think about it. One is the concept of Tianxia, how all human beings, animals, mountains, nature, forest, rivers live together, all under the sky. That's the one. Secondly, all these beings can sing as a sacred vessel, qi. So because with this assumption, therefore, one is this assumption is human beings is inhabited lived with our nature, right? And then also everything is all inclusive. So nothing is considered higher, foreign, and so this is the one basic assumptions. And usually in the Western tradition, think about human beings higher than animals because human being has a soul, right? And the animal does not have it. So, can you read this? It's too hard, huh? Okay, you can read. Okay, so in this Dao De Jing text, we will see how Dao generates, why all the things we see the myriad things connected. That's because there is a Dao. Dao is the source of myriad things. And then also this De. De is the force, right, nourishing our myriad things. So it's really provided the best, we will see some sort of vision and horizon about this a world. So this is allow myriad things flourish. These basic horizons actually later on in the Han Dynasty and the Confucian Dong Zhongshu formulating this clear statement. It's unity between heaven and the earth and the human beings. So everybody study Chinese philosophy, they know this is a very popular thing, right? So this idea, we can also look at it, we can back to the text, Dao De Jing talk about how humans follows earth as a rule, earth follows heaven as a rule, and the heaven follows the Dao as a rule, and the Dao follows itself, Dao follows the 自然 as a rule, or emulating. So basically, if Dao is all source of all things, then you can ask, what is the Dao? And Dao De Jing give you simple idea, Dao is 自然. Then you will see, what is 自然? So this 自然, we can think about there's two ways. One, in the contemporary Chinese word, 自然 is nature. But then this nature, these things, is extended in manifesting all different things. Right? So translation of 自然 as the simplest one is called self-soul. So self-soul, in other words, everything has a self-soul within them. Everything has a 自然 within. That's one. Secondly, this 自然 has a normative meanings. So human beings should act according to 自然, or acting 自然里. 自然, right? In English doesn't make work, but in Chinese it's work. Acting 自然. That means 自然, another translation is spontaneity, but it's not natural spontaneity. Okay, so one of the things we'll see, there's two types of work, actions regarding to human beings. One is way action. So way action, one type of way action is purposive action. You designed, socially induced, and you learned and demeaned. So this is different than how natural world operates. Then there is wu wei type action, non-action, but this wu wei type action is a 自然 action. This 自然 action is it's sage supposed to act, or everyone's supposed to do so. But the leaders should support the course of 10,000 things, should be helping every myriad things to exercise their 自然. So this is another to refer to actions, how we look at action. Then another word you can see, we should acting naturally. But this is going to be very complicated. But however, if we focus on these ideas, so quite different from the idea of respecting nature or preventing environment. So it suggests, basically, it's looking at human beings live within nature. Another word, probably very easier way to think about this. This is an idea of nature is human's home, is our home. Right? So we lived in the nature. Nature is not a subject for us to understand or something we should to grasping. So why nature is a part of us? Why within nature? So this is also, there is a Zhuangzi gave a very interesting claim, statement. So all under the heaven, Tianxia again, is breath of life. And therefore, sage prize that unity. So this unity can one way conceptually grasp unity, use the Chinese words of qi. Qi is energy. This energy can unify the myriad of things. Everything has a qi. Right? So the animal and the mountains, trees, even the qi is not abstract notion. Qi is the language we speak, the air we breathe, the food we eat. We're not eating food, we eat the qi. Right? So the moral compass is about the qi. And your artist's creation, that's the qi flow. So everything has motivated by this qi. So you see this unity. So human beings living in the nature, harnessing, generating the qi, form nature, because the qi is nourishing human life. So now this is one point I want to just quickly, so you conceptually think about the basic idea of nature. Second idea, we think about the concept of planetary humanity. So this I can see first with this idea, thinking about how we think about the wholeness, because the term wholeness, we have this think about the rational is really a controlled human existence, using the rationality to understand life, the living, a flourished life. But now with the focus is not in the rationality, but perhaps in the wholeness. The wholeness, the idea is the wholeness. Then, but the wholeness is actually also right now scientists, humanists, all together, work together to bring human-centered humanism, to move away and to think about planetary humanity. So this is this planetary humanity, think about all being is interdependent, all things that exist. So in the connection with myriad things. So this is clearly to do. Okay, so now what is this planetary humanity? We can look at it from three senses, right? One is humans are weaved together with non-human animals, events, and the process into the fabric, deep time, and we will see, and social life, and constructing religious, secular, scientific, cosmological order. So basically, we are one of many. Right? So the many means non-natural things, or we consider not human things, but it's a part of us as well. So this one. Secondly, planetary humanity, think about the human awareness, the human planetary nature, provide context for philosophy to negotiate its diverse historical, cultural, linguistic framework, and its claim to universality, some sort of the wholeness. Okay, and the third one is the novel awareness of our planetary nature has also been accompanied by the rapid advancement of global communications technology, which entail very new social, ethical, political questions regarding the distribution of knowledge, access to information, planetary citizenship, and we will see democratic participation. So the planetary humanity is actually saying how human beings effect on environment, and yet how environment actually affect the human being. More important, environment also being shaped by human beings. So this is the two ways of dialogue, and another is just the one way. So there is quite a bit of discussion here. So I don't have a time to do this, but I will. Okay, so this is all right. So what is this? This is basically its idea of now. I give also one of the examples in here. It's called the theory of Tianxia. So this is a political theory, contemporary political theory, and articulated by a Chinese scholar. His name is Zhao Tingyang, and he's lived in Beijing. So he constantly writing books about this theory of Tianxia, or you can see theory under heaven. So Tianxia comprises three interconnected meanings. The first one, so the earth or all lands under the sky. So this is, they basically think about the political structures. It's all under heaven. That the idea is really go beyond state, boundaries of state, the country, right? So the dissolve all this boundaries, borders between state, because we all under the sky. So second, the common choice made by all people in the world, or universal agreement in the heart of all people. So the Tianxia wanted to focus on a people. And in the way, I think it should be even more extended the people to the world, to myriad saints, which including nature also, of course. So, and then third, he's promoting a political system for the world, which global institution to ensure universal. So, and as a truly global and not merely international model. So there is a different, not to talk about how the countries stated today a dialogue, but rather there is something beyond countries, beyond the state. So all under heaven promotes a world order that provides a general or primary political framework with the state and the family, so forth. But of course, then you have a question, whose Tianxia counts? Whose version of Tianxia counts? So there is a big debate in here. But however, this is, I just want to say, this is kind of political system, political theory, rooted in Chinese view of, we'll say, nature, probably. So that's the implications. And then I think, I'm not sure what it is, but anyway. So another one, I look at the human body. I think this is probably, it's one more interesting to have we all connected, right? So if you think about that, we're being part of nature, what's that mean? Do you mean we lived, yes, look, this is Sao Paulo, beautiful. You lived with trees, with mountains, with clean air. That's just one version of living with nature. Another version we think about living with nature is your body is a nature. Your body gives you natural guidance. But so the idea is how do we understand ourselves? So you can think about the human beings, so living a space between biological process of Earth and also constellations of spiritual power of the heavens. Now, how do you make these links? That is through your body. The wonderful way to understand perhaps a Taoist idea of nature, most we will see a deeper or most quick way to think about the nature. You think about how the natural rhythm and in your body. So in this here, so one of the things to illustrate this idea, and we think about the Taoists through the history have started to map patterns and constitute of both internal and external world, right? So you understand external world, but start with understand the internal world. So in other words, the mapped universe in its various layers and multiple influence, so which universe is simultaneous cosmos, world, and your body is a world. Your body is a landscape. Your body is a community, and your body is a self. So body become a customized, and it's some sort of, we can see it's mystical. So to look in this thinking about the body, if we think about our body as a manifestation of nature, it's a miniature of nature. So then you really thinking and some way you noticed this interdependence, and also how your rational mind cannot controlling it, right? You not to, because your body is not lesson to you in many ways. Only way you can do is to nourishing your body. So here to understand this, how to understand this Taoist view of body, I give you a concrete case. Okay, so this is called this painting. It's called map of internal charts. Okay, so this is right now still in Beijing, White Cloud Taoist monastery. So this is basically a human being, right? So the head and totals of human body, and is setting in meditation, a meditative a position. So this body itself. So this sitting position, that is a Taoist view, a body, and also you can extend it. This is a miniature of nature. So how do we understand this chart? Okay, so this is so first let's see where this chart comes from. So this chart from actually in 1894, there is the Taoist monk and commissioned an artist saying, and I want you to draw something, basically engraved in the stone, and then so then the artist actually drawn up to these paintings, and the Taoist monk very happy because it's really bringing all the thousands of years of Taoist body cultivation and practice into this, and you see human body. Okay, so now the concept, this idea of this called this chart called 内经图, inner Jing of inner, in the stream also. So how do we think about this idea of Jing? So the Jing refers to running underground or running water. So it's called a water course. So basically you can think about the body as a diagram, internal water course, or the internal pathway. In other words, you think about the body, it's not objective, a fixed entity, but rather it's a flowing, water flowing meridians. So this is circling meridians. So now, so whether we think about it, this body is as a landscape, because there is a mountains, there is rivers, there is trees, there's a field, all this in here. So it's not the ideal, right? It's not a struggle between body and the soul. It's not a body. It's not a source of pleasure. Body is not a machine. Body is not some sort of object. So one of the things you can think about, the one way you can think about is hermeneutically, you can think about as a concept to understand environment and also fundamental frame human understanding. And secondly, one very important thing to thinking about the body is the body as a garden. So in the garden, you have different seeds growing, and then you need to nourishing it. Then if we extending this metaphor, because this is a miniature of cosmos and the nature, then they will see the microcosmos is a garden, need our nourishment, need our a help nourishing this giant nature field. So I was thinking nourishment is one of probably very important a philosophical terms. So now we can see, right, in this term, if we conceptually try and understand this Neijing tool, we see that you have this self is naturalistic, cosmic, theistic, and you all contains different possibilities, right? So basically, we have this chi is running through this inner body. Okay. So if you look at historically where this, one of the things you can see three source for these ideas. One is Chinese medical view of the body, right? Body is running with 12 meridians. If you do Chinese medicine, you know acupuncture works. And then also another one is visualization. It's come from Huang Ti Neijing 200 CE's concept. It's very fascinating text. In this text, they mapping out all human biological body part. And yet, every biological part, if it's heart, then you will be heart of spirit. A spirit of heart is an animal. There's all different kind of animals represent the human spirit. And then third, of course, is nourishing a life. And that's later on a practice called inner alchemy. So there's all kind of a method to this. Scholars has done this kind of work to think about what this is all about, right? So then again, they will think about the body. It's a field, right? And to be tendered and to allow it to grow and the grain to be gathered. So this is okay. So now I like to breaking down this body. So this a painting. This pictures Neijing tool consists. Basically, think about the human body consists of three parts. Okay, human body has three parts. One part, low part, they call the low field, the three field, maybe more. So low field is start with the belly button. Okay, belly button down is the low part. In this part, you know, you have this gene in there. So basically, human body all consider three elements. You have gene, is physical form. But also you can consider is biological part. For women is blood, for men is sperm. So this is one the gene. Secondly is a qi, is vital energy through. And the third it's a spirit, it's a shen. So jing qi shen, these three elements inside this is a physical body. However, so in the first part, and also the cultivation take place is trying to get rid of three different bugs. Each field has the problems. Okay, so the first part is the under under your belly button, and that part it's a gene, and also you have the bug is lust. Okay, so what are you doing? You cultivate your gene. And also you can see this picture. You have a boy, a male, female, and working together. So this is the part you think about is your lust, sexual desire. That is the problem. But however, it will, Taoist teaching is not denying this kind of energy flow, but rather embrace the directed. So in this area, so what do you need to do? You cultivate the jing to transform the qi. So you move your energy to your chest. Okay, so that is first. And then second part, so you come up to your chest. In this chest field, and then you also a problem is emotional entanglement. Right? So you're emotionally involved. So, and in this time, you have little dipper, there's a little boy Dipper, and then to live in the cosmos, you connect with cosmos. One of the, you zoom out your emotion, and then that when you see yourself in interconnection with the cosmos, might be you will release from your emotional entanglement. So in here, you can see that this is a stage, cultivate the qi to transform the spirit. So you move your qi going up to the third stage. Okay. And then third stage, you have, this is also, there is a problem, this is a stupidity. So you cultivate your spirit to return to emptiness, to get rid of the stupidity. So you can see the three bugs, the lust, emotion, entanglement, and the stupidity inside your body, and then you through cultivation, and you're trying to direct it, and trying to, we will see, try to turn into positive energy, probably this. Okay, so then you can see in here, in your head, there is called a gate of heaven, and where if the energy can be, open up or whatever. So there is quite a better exercise talking about the how you connect with nature in this kind of practice. But you clearly can see the human face is all about the mountains, right? So now in this kind of practice, clearly you will see the Plato also has this three elements, three parts of soul. Right? Rational, spirited, appetitive. The differences here is very interesting. Is of course a Taoist also talk about three field. The differences is for Plato, these three things. You have the one rational, somewhat controlling, okay, or put this spirited appetite into a right position, right place. But for Taoist, this kind of practice, his idea is to embrace the low field energy is a good source, and you embrace it and then direct it. So there is internal connections between the low level to the middle to the high level. So that part is very interesting. Okay, 10 minutes, I'm done actually. So this is a practice, we will see its examples, right? So I'm actually right last one. So one of one of the things I will see last one is, so how do we live within or with nature? Right? There's two possible ways if we look at it from philosophical point of view. One is contemplation. We're already very familiar with this contemplation way. You have a rational understanding, then you go out, somewhat, you have this agency, and then to understand the world. So there is a danger with this one is you have a subject and the object split. Okay? So it seems the object nature is just a passive stuff. And then you use your knowledge to control it and manipulate, so forth. So that is, we already know in today's world that's become problematic. But then there is another way, maybe I will call it walking on the Tao, walking on the road. Now in this way, I'm not, so this isn't in the Taoist teaching. You don't see this subject and object split, right? Subject, object, you as a moral agency, you walk on the road. But you walk on the road, you also building up this coherence, right? So it's like you become adoptive agency. You care about the road, right? You care about your surroundings. You become part of this road and be part of this Tao. So Tao is not something external for you to controlling, but rather you being with it, flow with it. So in that way, we think about Tao's idea of nature. So it's not just a simplest and live within nature, going with nature, flowing with nature, but actually you really being part of nature. I guess probably lack of better description. And that is, of course, that is very much, it's Taoist insight. But yet there is a lot, you could have quite a better critiques about this way to think about the humans' connection with nature. So open to, there is quite a bit of problems with this version as well. So then I guess Taoism should follow, should solve this kind of, facing these challenges. So I'm just stop here, and I looking forward to your questions.
Thank you very much for your wonderful lecture. I have two questions, which are at last the one question. I'm very interested in how Taoist monk exercises. You have talked about qi, and qi goes through the whole body and the whole universe. Now, that is not only theory, not only thought, but also experience with the body, for body, on the body, with body. So this exercise with body, for body, and on the body, that could be realized through exercise. Could you please go back to the first page? Where a human being makes a pose. So at first these, and that is the two. And at first, a human is sitting with a pose, hands. And I don't know. I know nothing about the exercise of Taoistic monk, but I suppose that the second stage of this pose, or the fourth stage of this pose, could be possible, namely, not to open the hands, but to close the hand. That is my supposition. Could you please go to the second? Yes. Then this human makes and sitting on the sand. I understand, or I interpreted this pose as a body opening for the universe, in being opened to the outward world or to the universe, where a body can accept qi, and qi comes into the body. But just this qi is now my qi, which could be concentrated as an inner world. Then, for example, Zen Buddhist sits so, and the hands are closed. And if this pose or the pose is also done in Taoist, that is my first question. The second, which is combined with the first. Now, exercise. Qi is you have explained in various elements. I suppose that qi comes from outward world into my body, also in form of breathing. Inspire, expire. Breathing, that is English word. Okay. In German to say atmen. Atmen. Einatmen. Ausatmen. Yes. And also in Zen Buddhist exercise, this breathing is quite important. And in this, with this pose, one breathes the qi in accepting the qi of the universe, and in sitting so in the pose of Zen exercise, we breathe with bow. What is it? Bow. Belly. With belly. And in this pose, I suppose that the human breathes with the over part. And this should be concentrated into belly. And if the second part of the exercise is also known or the practiced in Taoism, that's my question.
So let me thank you very much for your question. You, from expert point of view. First, I want to make a clarification because this PowerPoint I have my work study student done. So they just found the text and do it. Not necessarily it's like Taoist a qi pose. So it's not this is more like a yoga American things. But however, you raised a very interesting question. So first question, Tao is the monk, the exercise, right? So it is the pose actually is holding on your hand is together, and there is different hold. Male doing, how female doing. So there is a female left top and so forth. That's one. But they always working on belly button because the belly button is a foundation. It's a foundation of your existence. It's very interesting. My opera singers, like students, they sing opera singers. They sing the qi come from belly button. Everything is qi, rolling form a belly button. So belly button, so they always set inside your hand. It's actually holding your belly button to called 筑基, building up this foundation. While you're doing 筑基, when you also talk about this, what the Taoists do, there's a different practice. Some practice called visualization. You visualize how you connect with your nature. Your left eye is the sun, your right eye is the moon, and your breath is water. Your breathing is all this, your blood stream is rivers, oceans in your body. So you visualize this. You visualize whenever you experience the nature, and you see the nature actually entailed in your body. So your work become one with them, right? So they have argument. The argument, for example, in Taipingjing, the Taoist text in 200 AD, talk about we should not cut off the trees. We should not, stop the river because the trees is a hair, our body, and the river is our blood. It's Earth's blood. You cannot stop it. So you need nourishing it. So this is the very important Taoist practice. There's a visualization part, and also you talk about this breathing exercise. Breathing exercise later on become inner alchemy. The inner alchemy is thinking about you have two elements, right? You have a qi going up, and then your shen spirits go down. When qi and the shen they together they form was a human beings, I need your help, fetus, divine fetus. It doesn't matter male and female, you actually form a divine fetus. This divine fetus it's called a Jingdan, it's a gold alchemy. This gold things consists of your qi and your spirit. Together. So the question is very interesting. If you do not, you are, let's say, you're a lousy person, you're not morally well, so then qi is your spirit will fly away. And now that resets it. You'll only be morally good, you're physically healthy, and the qi will come setting with you, and then it's possible have this kind of fetus. And it's another interesting point is for male, we take 9 years to form that fetus. For women, 3 years. So women is a much shorter time than men. So there's all kind of a practice, different schools. So now, yeah.
Thank you. And last and third question. When the breathing stops,
yes,
one must die.
Yes.
What kind of phenomenon is dying for Taoism?
Okay, so for good Taoist monk, when you die, they have hun and po. So basically, they do not call you die. They call the transformation, 羽化. In other words, your spirit will open up, form your gate of heaven, your head, and fly up. So that's death. So that's why you see all the Taoist painting. Have you seen the immortals going up? Because they're flying. So that is your hun going up, and your po go down. So that's how feng shui about. It's looking for your yin home, for take care of your po, yin souls.
Alguém quer fazer uma pergunta?
No.
Okay. Alguém?
No, there is one.
Pode falar, depois eu faço.
Oh, it's English.
Well, I try to make this question in this commentary in English, actually. Thank you for your lecture, first of all. And I couldn't help myself from thinking about an intercultural trend in all this body as a garden, mm-hmm, in Taoist perspective, from the idea of it's an Sufi, Iranian idea that Henri Corbin, a scholar of Iranian Sufism, established as mundus imaginalis. Is the third, it's a third realm between earth and the divine, yeah, heaven.
Yeah.
And this mundus imaginalis tends to be the place where body becomes spirit and spirit become body.
Yeah.
And during all your presentation, I was thinking, well, so maybe in Taoist perspective, at least in this kind of Taoist perspective, we could think about the body as this mundus imaginaris, as this place where the earth, the land, the place become spirit, become heaven, and the other side. So I thought this very interesting to try to do this.
Thank you very much. I think it's very interesting, right? So if we think about indigenous culture, right? So they think about how human beings connect with nature. They very much think about how our human body is situated in this surroundings, and then they, like you use the word space, right? It's very good space. We gathering the natural forces. If we call it spirit, we call it what you won't see, and then we gathering their force, right? And then when united, aligned with that force and like enhance our life, it's part of flourish, right? So we're always in the oneness. But I do think, but yet, you know, the perhaps modern science, perhaps Newtonian's view about the paradigm about the world really separate our human life, bring our complex human life into a laboratory. So that everything become a mechanic, right? So in that part, and then we really disconnected with this earth, with this heaven, and with our surroundings. So we become this so-called rational beings walking around without the body, right? So that's the problem we see. So another question for earlier, Professor talked about Nietzsche's idea of a body, or, you know, we do think about all this, especially Heidegger, Merleau-Ponty, this idea of a body. But I also see very differences between Taoist body and with these continental philosophers' views of body. Because for Taoist view body, you have to hands-on. You have to do it. Right? So to do a meditation, to do a visualization, to do all kinds of things. So for example, Chinese medicine, Chinese martial arts, this originally is to cultivating your body in order to welcome spirit to come to your body. But then we are separate. Modern human beings separate the Shen, kick up the Shen, just do the fancy part. You know, medicine is about, you know, to medicine, actually, people say it's a healing. You know, so martial arts is not a fancy thing. Fighting, no, it's a part of cultivation. So we all separate this. So that part, maybe now it's time for us to really return to roots, to think about these complex pictures of this.
Alguém mais gostaria de fazer? I'm going to finish with a question myself. I'm going to take your presentation. You started with the Tao, right? And then you said it was grounded in ontology. So it comes words to refer to Tao, such as source, power, independent on itself. Is Tao almost sort of a reality? Maybe we can have all these words that refer to Tao. And towards the end, you said that there's the image, and the Tao as a Tao that you walk. You know? You, as you walk, you also you build your own Tao. You construct it as you walk. It's very mundane, simple, concrete, and these are very contrasting views, right? Sort of a transcendental, all-powerful Tao, that source of everything. And the other is very mundane, very worldly. So maybe you could comment on these very different views on Tao?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, the mental positions on this is in Taoist teaching. The Tao it's combined. There is no transcendental and immanent, this kind of split, right? So Tao is it's a source, but yet the Tao, this source, but Tao is not a creator. Tao is not some sort of being, existence outside this mundane world. No, Tao is always being manifested in our lives. So I think that is a very important point to see there is no this distinction between transcendence and immanence. Okay, so then this is really comes to the question. You think, oh, Chinese is just so materialistic. They have nothing left, and that's it. This is life, is it? So I'm facing this problem. So how to solve this problem? There's different way to do it. One way, you actually really think about it. One way, if you want to play this, still working this framework, then you will see, I change transcendence into transcending. In other words, there is no transcendence of beings there, but yet there is a transcending process. So in other words, your life is a journey. There's a journey toward transcending, right? So every moment when you alignment with the Tao, it's a process of transcending. So because life itself is a transformation. Life is not purified some soul, but rather life, it's transforming. It's open-ended. So that is one way to dealing with this problem. Another way is just give up this framework. Use a different framework to think about a human flourishing. Ultimately, the Tao is about a human life, human flourishing, reality, epistemology, knowing, and ethical guidance. So all that. So then we don't have to using certain Western terms, like the beings of transcendence, to think about the Chinese philosophy. Just open up its own framework to thinking about the issues, right? Thinking about what is a meaning of life, what is the best way to living a human life, and how living well. Taoism can have all these answers for you, right? Especially, I just very quickly, we have, right now, artificial intelligence technology penetrated all our aspects of our life, right? So really, AI changing what's it mean to be humans. So I just happened, people ask me to working on this. So then instead you see, can machine think, right? So that's a very important question. Can machine think? I propose a question, can machine flow like a Tao? So I said, well, we're just trying to think about a different way to answer contemporary problems, questions and the problems.
Obrigado. Encerramos então o dia de hoje. Pode ser.
Só